Hi, so for my first adventure into YouTube land, I thought I'd have a look at the most recent Xbox One and PlayStation 4 release, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. I never got to play it on the Xbox 360, I just didn't particularly feel like I wanted to at the time, and I was kind of semi-holding out hope that they would do this and release it on the Xbox One, and they have. Wonderful. So, it's got the improved graphics, all the DLC things included, and as you can see, it is breathtaking. I can't think of any other game. I think Battlefield looks really impressive, and I think what Dead Rising achieves technically with the amount of zombies is quite impressive. But personally, I don't think you can beat these graphics. I think Lara Croft, she looks amazing. Her face and her hair, especially her hair that actually moves, it's fantastic. It's really used the Xbox One's capabilities really well, and I think the weather effects, the fire effects are all fantastic, and I think this is why I waited for the Xbox One version. In terms of gameplay, got a lot of this free running element, really popular in games at the minute, and I think it does it really well. It doesn't feel like you're playing some superhero. It feels quite realistic. One of the more controversial aspects of the gameplay are these QuickTime events. A lot of people have been moaning about them, can they take away from the feel of the game, they're not as exciting, not as interesting, but personally I think they're really quite tense. The amount of times I died at some of the earlier ones, they have to be pretty tense really, and I find them really quite stressful, and I think they're a really good addition. They're not too often. I think some games, Rise for example, it can be a bit too often, but I think this, it's just used sparingly enough that makes it interesting, keeps you on your toes, but isn't too much. So I really like them. I know a lot of people don't. The inclusion of the bow and arrows ace for me as well. I mean, I'm a big fan of bows and arrows. I don't think there are many modern games that really use bow and arrow as a realistic, serious weapon, but Tomb Raider really makes it feel like a really serious weapon, something that could do some real serious damage. It's the stealthy option, but it's still quite effective, and I absolutely love that. I think that's one of my favourite elements, that it's a bit quirky, a bit unusual with the weapons and things you'll use. Obviously you've got the guns as well, but I think it's a little bit different. This is one of the tombs, one of the really only links to Tomb Raider as kind of its old heritage of exploring tombs. There are quite a few scattered around. I've found 2 within the first few hours I've been playing. This is the second, and I think they're really interesting. They're not too massive, they don't take up ages of time, they aren't particularly complex, but there's some quite quirky, neat little challenges involved. So this one, it's trying to basically climb up this wall, which I'm failing miserably to do at this point, but it's an interesting new dynamic, and I think it adds a new element to the game, which can be quite action heavy at some points. So I think this is a nice little bit of a puzzle area. So far I'm really quite impressed. I'm going to spend quite a lot more time on it soon, over the next few weeks I should think. Come back with a proper full review in a few weeks, but for now it's just some first impressions. It's all looking good. Feel free to like and subscribe underneath if you enjoyed this, and I'll be back soon.